This video is brought to you by CatBeast.com. Design your own custom snapbacks.
What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Thank you so much for tuning back into the channel NXT for tonight's show, June 14th, 2017. Decent show. Great main event, man, with Ruby Riott, Asuka, and Nikki Cross for the NXT Women's Championship three-way dance elimination in the main event of tonight's show. Plus, we had the Velveteen Dream, a stare down between the Authors of Pain and Heavy Machinery, and Drew McIntyre in action with a very, very big announcement for next week, man. We got two huge matches next week, which I can't wait to see. We'll talk about that as well. Plus some news and rumors. News on Mark Andrews. He was injured during the NXT Download Festival this past weekend. And we got news on Austin Aries. I know he's not NXT anymore, but I'm going to lump the 205 Live news, being that there really isn't any on a weekly basis. I'm going to lump that into the NXT report here tonight for June 14th. Austin Aries taking some time away from WWE for an undisclosed injury. We'll go over that as well tonight here for the report on NXT. I want to thank everybody for your love and support, man. Monday Night Raw review did great. SmackDown did great. We have NXT tonight. I've been working on Off the Script Retro for my Patreons and my loyal subscribers over on the IRWNetwork.com. It's about 70% done, man. I just got to tidy it up a little bit. I got to add some clips from WrestleMania 8. We are going to be discussing WrestleMania 8 and everything that pay-per-view should have been, man. Very controversial stuff. Very mind-boggling stuff happening in that time frame, man, between the Royal Rumble in 1992 and then WrestleMania 8, man. WrestleMania 8 was fucking garbage. And it should have been so much better than it was, and that's what we discuss. Everything from the 1992 Royal Rumble and what should have been a WrestleMania main event of Hogan and Flair did not end up being Hogan and Flair, and for very political reasons. We discuss all that on Off the Script Retro. That is exclusively for my Patreons. $3 or more per month, man. You guys get Off the Script Retro every single week. Or if you guys want to not do the Patreon thing, you guys can subscribe to the IRWNetwork.com. The only two places right now that you can hear Off the Script Retro. Episode 2 coming this weekend, man. Thank you guys so much for your love and support on that. If you guys want to pledge $3 or more to hear Off the Script Retro in its entirety, we got episode 1 up there live right now. Episode 2 coming this weekend. $3 or more, www.patreon.com/JDFromNY206. So make sure you guys check that out. Thank you to everybody that has pledged or upped their pledges for the Patreon page, man. Thank you guys so much. You guys are fucking beasts. Another great way to support this show, as always, and this should be ingrained in your skulls right now, man. You guys know what I'm going to talk about. Audible. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Continue to support Audible during this YouTube adpocalypse, man. It's an absolutely fantastic way to support the show, and you guys are getting something for free as a result of it. All you got to do is go through the sign-up process. If you have an iPhone like I do or an Android, you guys can get Audible because they have a downloadable app. You go through the sign-up process. You use my unique link, audibletrial.com/offthescript. And you're good to go, man. You choose one book, you start listening. If you enjoy the service, you could stay on. I believe it's $14.99 a month. If not, you guys can cancel it at any time within the 30 days, and you still get to keep your book for free, man. Tons of wrestling books. You got AJ Lee, Daniel Bryan, Shawn Michaels, Roddy Piper, Dusty Rhodes, Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, Steve Austin. Everybody's on there, man. AJ Lee's new book is on there. You guys can even pre-order Jim Ross's new book coming out in October. That's audibletrial.com/offthescript. Thank you to everybody that has supported Audible. They are a great sponsor of this show, and it's a great way to support the show, man. We get something back for you guys signing up, and it's just great, man. You guys get something for free. You're helping the show out in the same process. Unbelievable stuff, man. audibletrial.com/offthescript. And my newest sponsor, man, CapBeast. CapBeast.com. If you guys like custom logos on your hats. I know I love my hats, man. You never see me without a fucking hat on. But CapBeast is offering everybody who orders through their website 10% off. Use the code JD10 at checkout. CapBeast.com. So make sure you guys, if you're into that, custom logos, custom designs on your caps. Great fucking place to do that, man. Capbeast.com. Use the code JD10. And then obviously barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. We are an official partner of Barbershop Window and Pro Wrestling Tees. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Thank you guys so much for everything. We're going to start with this Austin Aries news, man. Austin Aries taking time away due to health issues, and it will force him to take time off WWE. On this week's episode of WWE 205 Live, Austin Aries announced that he would be taking time off from WWE. He said, after months of battling Neville and TJP, I got a little leg stuff going on, and I got a little neck stuff going on. And unfortunately, until WWE gets some test results back, I'm not medically cleared to wrestle. So what my future holds is, I don't know. Tony Nese then came out and interrupted him, and it led to a confrontation between Nese and Jack Gallagher. Aries did not do anything physical. Last week, while doing interviews to promote his new book, he talked about nagging injuries and said that he would be taking a break, or at least hinted to at least taking a break from wrestling. He later said that he was not taking time off and that his quotes were taken out of context. Last week, he told USA Today, and I quote, as far as what's next for me, from a creative standpoint, or what's my next move, that's to be determined, he added. I need to regroup and take a look at the landscape and see where I fit in. You just have to keep tuned into the program to find out what is going to happen next. Now, it should be noted that Aries wrestled over the weekend, but it sounds like the nagging injuries are legitimate and he needs the time off. It's also possible that something came up on a recent physical or when they reevaluated him and the doctors decided that he should not be wrestling right now. So, obviously, any updates on Austin Aries, I will definitely let you guys know, either here next week or on Off the Script, whichever comes first. So, Austin Aries taking time away from the WWE. I would really be disappointed, is the good word. Disappointed if Austin Aries is not brought back in any capacity for the WWE. He clearly is a lot better than what they have been doing with him on 205 Live. I mean, Austin Aries, to me, I've always seen Austin Aries as a main roster guy. Even when he came into NXT, I thought he was going to be a vital piece to the NXT brand and the revitalization to NXT. Then they put him in 205 Live, and the reason why they did that is because they needed somebody to feud with Neville. You know, there was really nobody that was built up or had at least the caliber that was in Austin Aries to feud with Neville. And there still isn't anybody on that roster to feud with Neville. I mean, they're going with the TJPs, who really isn't all that coming out of the Cruiserweight Classic. We got the Jack Gallaghers, which we've seen. You know, there's really nobody else built up over there that has a solid foundation underneath him that we could really say, you know what, I want to see this. You know, now they're building up Akira Tozawa. Doesn't scream excitement to me, man. It really does not. So Austin Aries was, you know, there, and that was the reason why he was there for the time being. We got 3 matches out of that feud, and that was it. We don't know the extent of his injuries. We don't know what is bothering him. We don't know what happened. Neck stuff, leg stuff. We don't know until we hear from a doctor or a report or from Aries himself. We just don't know. We know he came back from a brutal injury suffered by Shinsuke Nakamura that shattered his orbital bone. But I don't know what happened in between that time, you know, because he was out a significant amount of time. He came back, and within the last 3 months, he must have got hurt somewhere. We just don't know what it is. I see Austin Aries as a key piece on Monday Night Raw if they want to utilize him. Have him go away for a little bit, have people forget about him on 205 Live, bring him back to the main roster, have him challenge The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. Because right now there's nobody to challenge The Miz for the IC title. I mean, I would much rather see that than fucking Dean Ambrose again in a feud that, to me, should be over by now. Nobody wants to see it. We've seen it on SmackDown. They both got drafted to Raw, and now we're seeing it on Raw. How much more can these guys go? You know? It wasn't entertaining then, and it really isn't entertaining now outside of a few things that happen here and there. But I would like to see Austin Aries challenge for a mid-card title. Austin Aries should be challenging The Miz and Ambrose and Joe and Rollins. You know, guys like that. I want to see Austin Aries mixing it up with those types of guys. You know? So we'll see what happens. I don't know what's going on with Austin Aries, but hopefully he gets back soon because his talent is there, and WWE can certainly utilize that talent, hopefully, if he does come back to the WWE on Monday Night Raw. Mark Andrews, one of the vital pieces to the UK Live roster. Mark Andrews has apparently been injured during a match at the Download Festival this past week, and he was teaming with Drew McIntyre, Roderick Strong, and Aleister Black to take on Pete Dunne, the Authors of Pain, and Bobby Roode. Ooh, that's a nice match there, man. Nice mixture of guys there. According to fans in attendance, Andrews took a clothesline from one of the members of the Authors of Pain, and it appears as if he suffered a neck injury and he was stretchered out into an ambulance. I gotta get that fixed. I'm just too lazy to call Verizon. Andrews was being stretchered out and into a waiting ambulance after a fall on the head during a match with the Authors of Pain at the NXT Download Festival. There's pictures online posted by fans. It was just, that's all we got. There's nothing else as far as this injury goes. We haven't heard anything else as it pertains to Mark Andrews here. Marty Scurll actually tweeted out as well. He said, a scary reminder of how dangerous this business is and how wrestlers risk their lives to entertain. And you know, they love you, the fans. You know, he was saying love you to Mark Andrews. But it was a scary situation. Will Ospreay even tweeted, please be okay, brother. Love you, at Mandrews Jr., Mark Andrews. So they must have all been there in attendance at the Download Festival, and they must have seen this happen. So really scary shit here. We don't know the extent of his injuries, but Mark Andrews was injured after a clothesline from one of the members of Authors of Pain. Those guys are big. They don't know how big they are at times. This is not the first that I'm hearing Authors of Pain injuring somebody. If you guys remember, they dropped that jobber guy on his tag team partner and nearly killed him in the ring on NXT. They gave him a fucking concussion right there during a power bomb. I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was Akam or Razor. They picked up this jobber and they power bombed him on top of his opponent of his partner, who was laying down, and the head of the guy that they picked up smashed into the guy's head that was laying down. It was scary shit. So, not the first time we're hearing about rough and tough Authors of Pain, but hopefully Mark Andrews is okay and everything is all right with him, because UK Live is going to be filming, if not already. And he's going to be a big piece to that with Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne and Wolfgang, those guys there. So we'll see what happens with that. I will keep you guys updated on Mark Andrews and Austin Aries, respectively. NXT tonight, not really all that exciting of a show. We had some, guys being built up through enhancement talents. Drew McIntyre, we know how good he is. He was in the ring tonight to open the show against Rob Rising. Sounds like a fucking porno star. Literally sounds like the name of a porno star, man. Rob Rising. When I'm on the set, I'm rising. Or something like that, When he's in bed, when he takes your girl home after dinner, he's rising. He's rising to the occasion, bro. Every time. No Viagra needed, bro. Or he could be a spokesman for Viagra, Pop one of these, and you'll be rising to the occasion. Something along those lines, man. I don't know. Whatever. Drew McIntyre, though, he didn't give a fuck about Rob Rising and his porno antics. This guy was destroyed in about 2 minutes. Rising got a 1 count, surprisingly, after a stiff super kick that knocked McIntyre down. But it was all for naught. We had a Claymore, boot to the face. 1, 2, 3. Rob Rising is not rising after this one. Drew McIntyre defeats Rob Rising, and they're really building up McIntyre as the next thing, man, for Bobby Roode to conquer. And I do believe that's going to be the match. We haven't heard anything yet. We're still weeks away from SummerSlam. But Bobby Roode might be going through Roderick Strong first, and then we get to Drew McIntyre. But we talked about this 2 weeks ago. I would love if NXT, before SummerSlam, before Brooklyn, creates a mid-card championship. I think there's a lot of talent on this brand that could really, benefit from a mid-card title. And that's something that I'm going to really discuss because, in the future, because I think it's something that needs to happen. There's a lot of talent here that's coming up, and a lot of talent that's really proven to be pretty good, and Roderick Strong is one of them. So if he's not fitting into the main event, those guys need something to fight for, man. McIntyre, he's come in. We knew he was a beast coming in to NXT. You know, this is a revitalization of this guy's career. He's got superstar. You look at Drew McIntyre, he's got superstar written all over him, man. From his look to his fucking physical in-ring skill. The guy is absolutely fucking brutal, man. He's stiff as fuck. And I can't wait to see him and Bobby Roode go at it, man. I think that's going to be an epic showdown. It really is. And I think McIntyre is going to be the next man in NXT, man, to be honest with you. I think he's going to be the next man. McIntyre and Bobby Roode coming. Trust me. He beats Rob Rising tonight with the Claymore. We look back. There was a replay of Peyton Royce and Billie Kay at the Performance Center. Remember last week, Ember Moon got her clearance as she signed the clearance papers to come back to be cleared to be in the ring again, and she winked at Peyton Royce and Billie Kay. I'll see you soon. One of the matches for next week that's been booked is Ember Moon in her return match against Peyton Royce, man. I'm looking forward to that. Ember Moon going through Peyton Royce and eventually is going to want her hands on Asuka. So it should be very interesting to see there. Authors of Pain versus Brody or Beastly Brody and Malkin. Two bums. Two fucking bums. They sound like fucking playable characters in fucking Street Fighter. Beastly Brody and Malkin. Whoever the fuck these guys were. Clearly, the Authors of Pain didn't give a shit about them. Akam fought this match all on his own. Razor wasn't even on the ring apron for this match. That's how easy this match was for the Authors of Pain. Akam was on, just patrol here, destroying these guys. Razor was on the outside talking strategy with Ellering as Ellering was writing in his notebook. And it was not a problem. Akam took care of these guys easily. Throws these guys around like fucking lawn darts. He actually fucking chucked one of these guys over the top rope. This guy fucking splashed all over the steel barricade or the steel entranceway on the outside. Nothing. Nothing for these guys. Akam and Razor destroy Beastly Brody and Malkin. After the match, Ellering takes the mic and says Heavy Machinery are foolish as they are big. Ellering runs down the victims of AOP, says they went through TM61, The Revival, American Alpha, The Beloved DIY. They're going to add Heavy Machinery to his book of pain. So out comes Tucker Knight and Otis Dojovic, and they have a stare down with the champs. They go toe-to-toe, belly to belly, if you will, and they never make contact. The Authors of Pain are ushered out of the ring by Paul Ellering, and that was it. Heavy Machinery and the Authors of Pain. Now, some are bickering that this is a snooze fest. I'm not interested in this, but what else do we have? We don't have anything else here for the tag team division of NXT. This is the tag team division of NXT right now. DIY's gone. You know, Gargano is selling his injuries from Ciampa. Ciampa's going to be out 9 months. TM61 should be coming back relatively soon. You know, we got, what's his name there? Riddick Strong? Whatever the fuck his name is. And Tino Sabatelli. You know, I don't know if those guys are going to be built up as anything, but, you know, they're there. We got Sanity, right? We have any combination of Sanity if you want. But, you know, what are you going to do? Got to wait for Red Dragon to come in. You got to wait for Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly to come on in, man. Maybe we get some solid tag team action from WWE bringing in some new blood. I don't know. But the Authors of Pain here beat these two bums, stare down with the Heavy Machinery guys, and that's looking to be your match at TakeOver Brooklyn number 3. We have a look at Roderick Strong's promo for last week and Bobby Roode's emotional, cry as he was crying into toilet paper. You know, we were shown a tweet from Roddy who calls Bobby Roode a privileged NXT champ, but also his questionable social media grammar skills. There was a vignette for Daria, now Sonya Deville, just highlighting her training in the Performance Center and that she's coming next week. So they're building up some more women, possibly for the Mae Young Classic. I'm not sure yet, but Sonya Deville going to be on NXT next week. Raul Mendoza versus the Velveteen Dream. You know, I really wish they would just call it. The Velveteen Dream in itself is a great nickname. Okay, but to have that as your wrestler name, it's a little ridiculous, man. I like Patrick Clark, you know. Patrick Clark, the Velveteen Dream, or Velveteen Dream, Patrick Clark, you know. But calling him the Velveteen Dream. Yeah, it's a little ridiculous, man. Dream? What do we call him? Dream? Velveteen? You know? What is his... I wish they would call him by his name. Patrick Clark. I don't know why they got rid of that. Just, you know, it's some things that WWE does, man. It's just mind-numbing to me. Raul Mendoza was in the Cruiserweight Classic last summer. If you don't remember him, I don't blame you because I didn't. I mean, Tom Phillips mentioned that he was in the Cruiserweight Classic. I honestly don't remember him at all. I don't know who he fought in the first round. Velveteen Dream, man, looks good. You know, again, he looks like the modern-day Goldust. He looks like Disco Inferno to me. He's got that flamboyance. I could do without all the fucking lip puckering and the kissing. You know, I could do without all the fucking flamboyant shit, but yeah, that's his character. One thing I do have to make mention here, man. You know, I love a character in which a guy can live outside of the WWE. I wonder if Patrick Clark, I wonder if the Velveteen Dream is really like this in person. Can you imagine him going to Starbucks and ordering a fucking, yeah, I'll have a Venti quad mocha with extra whipped cream, please. Soy, please. And steam that to 183 degrees. Can you imagine him just ordering something like that and, you know, puckering up, you know, and just fucking doing the fucking thing and, you know, flamboyance all over the place. Can you imagine that? You know, Bray Wyatt lives his gimmick in real life, you know. Well, maybe not lately with Hojo, but, you know, Bray Wyatt is very stoic in real life. You talk to Baron Corbin in real life, you don't give a fuck about you. He's heel through and through, man. You know, I wonder if Patrick Clark does that flamboyance in person, or he's just a regular dude, you know? I'd be interested to know that. But outside of the lip puckering and the fucking flamboyance, this guy drops one hell of a fucking elbow drop, man. I'll tell you that. He you know, with all the flamboyance, he's vicious, man. I like that. You know, you can have a dose of flamboyance, but don't be overly flamboyant. This guy's fucking vicious, which I really enjoy. And he's got one hell of a fucking elbow drop off the top rope, man. It's just something about it. He jumps and he gets fucking so much air and then drops that motherfucker. Really, really good stuff, man. This is a guy that could really benefit from a mid-card title on NXT. I don't see this guy ever challenging for a WWE NXT Championship match. That's just me. This gimmick has a very, very small ceiling. You know, this is a gimmick that Kevin Dunn would be all over on Monday Night Raw, and this guy would be in comedy segments every fucking week with somebody, Bo Dallas or Titus O'Neil, you know? But Velveteen Dream, so far so good on NXT, beats Raul Mendoza with a stiff, beautiful elbow drop off the top rope, man. Good shit. Cassius Ohno was interviewed and says that William Regal has given him a true test. He will now know where his friendship stands with Hideo Itami. But with William Regal, he spoke to William Regal, and Aleister Black versus Cassius Ohno will take place next week, man. That's a fucking match that everybody should come out and see, man. Holy shit. Aleister Black's first real competition here on NXT, man. Should be good shit next week. Asuka, the champion, longer than anyone in company history. Well, I don't know if it's company history, but at least modern day. You know, I don't know if she's eclipsed CM Punk's reign yet. I don't know if she's really in that type of upper echelon, but WWE has really made a mention of Goldberg. You know, that she's undefeated. She's undefeated and has eclipsed Goldberg's undefeated streak, which we know was fabricated. It was all bullshit, but it is what it is, man. The main thing here was Nikki Cross and Asuka. Okay, Ruby Riott was eliminated with a corner neck breaker, you know, from Nikki Cross. Beautiful move. Nikki Cross had Ruby Riott on the top rope. Her legs were on the top rope. Spinning neck breaker. Almost like a crossroads off that top rope. 1, 2, 3. Ruby Riott was eliminated. The one thing I don't get here, man, this is fucking ridiculous to me. Okay? This is a triple threat elimination match for the NXT Championship. It is triple threat rules, meaning no disqualification. Okay? Anything goes here. WWE changing the rules on the fly. Why? Why? I don't get it. Unless they have a bigger idea in mind here. This match ended in a fucking no contest. You know? Because the ladies disobeyed the referee's orders. They could do whatever the fuck they want. It's no disqualification. Seems like the referee didn't want to do his fucking job. He's like, oh, they went to the back. Nikki Cross and Asuka were fighting up the aisleway to the back. They went to the backstage area. Referee did not want to follow them back there. He's like, call it off. I'm calling this match a no contest. Because why? You didn't want to fucking walk an extra mile? Why? Your feet were hurting? Did you want a fucking foot rub? You poor bastard. I mean, give me a fucking break, man. The ladies disobeyed his direction, so he asks for the bell and rules this match a no contest. Are you fucking kidding me? In a match that has no DQ. They could go anywhere, man. Seriously, if Asuka wanted to take Nikki Cross to her bedroom, it would have been okay. No, but you want to call a no contest. Give me a break. Okay? So after the match, after the no contest, Cross and Asuka are fighting in the backstage area. They head to the loading dock area. Nikki Cross is thrown into a fence. Asuka's thrown into a fucking steel gate. Looked brutal. There was even a shot where they went into this undisclosed door, which looked like the makeup area. At first, I thought it was the catering area because I seen bottles of water stacked up and, you know, a bunch of coolers with water in it. But it was the makeup area. And Nikki Cross dunks Asuka's head into the ice water, man. Vicious shit. So they start fighting back into the arena. They go to the announce table. Then they go up to the tech area. They start fighting off the tech area. Asuka's dangling off the fucking, you know, I don't know how high it was, but obviously there was junk and tables down below. So they got the tech area, and then they got, you know, down below, and there was two tables that were stacked on top of one another. Nikki Cross cross-bodies Asuka off the tech area through two tables on down below. And it looked brutal as shit, man. The initial shot, we didn't see anything, but when they played the replay back, it looked like Asuka got fucked up, man. It looked like her head hit her body went through the table, but her head just fucking hit the concrete. It was brutal shit. So, that was pretty much it. NXT officials came out calling for medics, and they were pretty much selling the big landing there to close NXT, and it looked great. And that was the final thing we seen when we went off the air. I don't know what this means. I tell you, and I'll tell you again, man, I love the dynamic with Nikki Cross and Asuka. I want to see more of these two. I think Ruby Riott being eliminated, that eliminates her from contention. I would love to see a rematch here. No disqualification. No disqualification, referee, between Nikki Cross and Asuka for the NXT Women's Championship. With Asuka winning, of course. And then, you know, Nikki Cross doing enough damage to Asuka to soften her up for Ember Moon at SummerSlam. But at this point, you know, I honestly would not even have Asuka lose at this point. With the Mae Young Classic coming up, I would have Asuka retain the title. I wouldn't even have Ember Moon beat Asuka. I would have Asuka remain undefeated for her entire stint in NXT. I would have her come to the main roster undefeated. I really would. That's my thing. I would have her forfeit the fucking title. I would have her come to the main roster. I would have her go to SmackDown. I would have Charlotte win the Women's Championship. And I would have Asuka come to the main roster, run through everybody. And that leads Asuka to Charlotte at WrestleMania in a true test of who is the best. You got Asuka, undefeated. Nobody's ever beaten her against Charlotte, Ric Flair's daughter, who is widely, you know, said by everybody being the best female wrestler on the planet. That's the way I do it. That's the way I would do it, you know? And the finals of this thing, from what I'm hearing, is not going to take place until the end of September or the first week of October. It's happening after Brooklyn, after SummerSlam. So we're getting the filming during July 14th and 13th, and we're going to get it in blocks on the WWE Network. The finals, which I don't know where they're taking place yet, but the finals may be taking place after everything. After September. So that's more than enough time for Asuka to beat Ember Moon and remain undefeated, be promoted to the main roster, forfeit the title because she can't take the NXT Women's Championship to SmackDown Live, and have the winner of the Mae Young tournament be crowned the new Women's Champion. That's the way I do it. I would not have Asuka lose, period. You know? I don't give a shit if Ember Moon is being positioned as the one. No. At this point, nobody should be the one. Because the money in Asuka is having her remain undefeated. You went this far with it, why not continue it? Because you could take that, and you already have a story for her to be coming to the main roster. You know? She's undefeated in NXT, nobody's beating her, and now she's taking that undefeated streak to the main roster, and coming to SmackDown Live. Becky, Charlotte, Naomi. I could see some good matches there, man. Natalya. I could see some damn good matches there. Asuka, Charlotte, WrestleMania 34. That is the biggest match. And that's in my top 5 matches that should happen at WrestleMania. That's one of them. Asuka, Charlotte, WrestleMania 34, New Orleans, SmackDown Live Women's Championship. That's just me. That's your NXT review, guys. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up. Smash that motherfucker. And sound off in the comments below, man. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Patreon.com/JD from NY206 if you guys want to hear Off the Script Retro for last week and this week and every other coming week. $3 or more gets you Off the Script Retro, man. So make sure you guys pledge. Check it out. If you don't want to pledge to the Patreon page, you can listen to it on IRWNetwork.com. Make sure you guys go over there and subscribe. $2.99 a month to hear Off the Script Retro exclusively on Eric Bischoff's new network, man. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Follow me on Twitter, @JD from NY206, and hit that subscribe button with the bell for your notifications down below. I am JD. I will be back tomorrow morning with Lucha Underground and the Cueto Cup starting tonight, man. So look forward to that tomorrow morning. I am JD. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the Cueto Cup and your Lucha Underground review. I'll talk to you later.